Good evening, everybody present here. Let's start today's discussion. Okay. Today we are going to discuss about the language of television. In the previous class, we have discussed about the media role of media producers, scriptwriter, and researcher. Now we will start discussing about the language of television. So under the section language of television, we will discuss mostly about the basic television shots. What are the basic television shots? What should be the camera angles, subjectivity and objectivity in shots, and complementary shots? So first of all, let's discuss about what is the basic television shots. What are the basic television shots? So if we will look into the basic television shots, then we can find there are different categories of television shots used in the as language of television. So first one we can discuss the extreme wide shot or the extreme long shot. So the extreme wide shot or the extreme long shot is taken from a great distance and is often used as an establishing shot to set the scene for the viewer. So it shows the environment around the subject. It is not only focused on the subject, it shows the environment around the subject, providing the context for where the action is taking place. So it is the widest shot a director can use without losing the subject entirely. So subject is present, along with that the background or the environment and the context is also presented to the audience. That is called as the extreme wide shot or the extreme long shot. Then you can say the long shot, the second one, the long shot or a wide shot. So what about this type of shot? Then this type of long shot or wide shot includes the entire object or human figure and is usually intended to place them within their environment. It gives viewers a sense of the space where the action is happening. The subject is more visible in this shot compared to the environment, compared to the extreme shot. But the background is also there, and background also plays the significant role in the long shot, but it is less than the shot is, or background is less than the extreme shot. The next category we can discuss the medium type of shot. So this type of medium shot frames the subject from a medium distance, which is often used for the dialogue scenes or to show some details. Also, it gives the context to the environment. So it gives the frame where the dialogue is being taking place, and also the context of the environment is shown in this type of shot. So a common medium shot might capture a portion from about the waist up, not a complete whole picture. So this type of shot balances the subject and their surroundings by providing clearer view of the subject expression while still including some background. So some background there, but the person may or the subject may not be visible completely or as a whole. And again, this shot balances the subject with the surrounding, and also it provides a clear view of the subject's expression, what the subject is expressing. This medium type of shot gives a clearer view of the expression. So it is the medium shot. So next category we can say that a close-up shot. we are now discussing about the language of television, and under the language of television we are discussing the basic television shots, camera angles or subjectivity objectivity of the shot, and the complementary shot. Under the basic television shots we have discussed the extreme wide shot, then long shot, then the medium shot, then close up shot. So what is that close up shot? This shot tightly frames a person's face or an object to capture the detail, the emotions, or the important actions. This is the close-up photograph as you are taking. So this type of shot is also makes the close-up frame of a person's face, object, or any emotions to capture the details of the emotion or details of the important action it is doing, and it is used to show the emotion or reactions of characters, and also it focus on the object that is key to the story. The close-up is powerful for directing the viewer's attention and creating more intimate connection with the subject. So who is sorting the basic shot, the director, he will decide whether the shot will be medium shot or close-up shot or long or extreme long shot. Then next, another extreme end is the extreme close-up shot. So extreme close-up shot means it is more tighter than the close-up shot, and it focus on a specific detail such as eye or mouth or a small object or eyebrows or hair. So some detailed thing, more details things are taken in this shot, and it is used to convey the intense emotions or highlight details that might be missed in a wider shot. So an extreme close-up can amplify the super sense, amplify the sense what he is going to shoot. Then emphasize a character's feeling. At that time, extreme close-up shot is taken, or focus attention on a critical plot element, and each of these shots plays a vital role in storytelling within television production, allowing the directors and cinematographers to convey narrative, emotion, and context through visual means. These are called as the extreme close-up shot. The next, so these are the basic shots, 5 types, 6 types of basic shots, you can say. The next point of discussion is the camera angle. How you are going to set the camera to take a good shot. So what are the camera angles? The camera angles are the fundamental aspect of visual storytelling in television and film. If you are going to design a visual storytelling in television and film, then you have to know all these things. The camera angles, what should be the angle of the camera to shoot a better shot. So these camera angles, they contribute significantly to how viewers perceive characters, the settings, and the overall mood of a scene. So it is very important, camera angles, from which angle you are taking the scenery. So here are the three major types of camera angles that we are going to discuss. So one is your normal angle shot. So this angle, normal angle, is achieved when the camera is positioned at eye level relative to the subject. If you are eager to take the photograph of a subject, then the level of the subject, eye level of the subject and camera lens will be positioned in a straight line. So this is the eye level shot, normal angle shot. So it creates a straightforward and neutral view, portraying the characters or subject in a way that is aligned with how they would be seen in everyday life. So it's often used for conversation or scenes where a straightforward depiction is desired without necessarily influencing the viewer's emotional or psychological perception of the scene. This is called as normal angle shot. Then the next is your low angle shot, then high angle shot. Then low, what is that low angle shot? For this shot, the camera is positioned below the eye level of the subject. Looking up at them, the camera will look up at the subject. This angle can make the subject appear larger, more imposing, or even heroic, you can say. It's often used to convey a sense of power or dominance of the subject. When you are going to show the dominance of the subject over the viewer or other characters, then you have to use this low angle shot. The low angle shots can significantly influence the viewer's interpretation of character, the character dynamics, and the emotional weight of a scene. At that time, you have to take the low angle shot. Then next is your high angle shot. In high angle shot, the camera is placed above the subject looking down. The camera looks down to the subject, and this angle tends to diminish the subject, making them appear vulnerable, weaker, or less significant. It can be used to convey a sense of observation or detachment and can influence the viewer's emotional response to the character or action. When this type of shot is taken from significantly higher up position, such as from an airplane or a drone, it is referred to as the aerial shots. So these aerial shots are the high angle shots. The aerial shots provide a broad overview of the location. It also offers a context and a sense of scale, and it can be quite dramatic also, because it provides a literal bird's eye view to the setting. So each of these angles serve to guide the viewer's emotional and psychological response to the narrative. So on the basis of the context, you have to use the angle, whether it is low angle or high angle or normal angle shot. So by choosing the right angle, the filmmakers or the television directors can add depth to the storytelling, character development, and thematic elements of their work. So from this point of view, the angle, camera angle is very important. The next is your just a minute. I am trying to present the PPT. Okay, I think now the PPT is visible. Then we are going to discuss about the subjectivity and objectivity in sorts. So what is that subjectivity and objectivity in sorts? So an objective shot is characterized by the camera's neutral position, often at a 90-degree angle to the action. This type of shot is detached, serving as an observer without influencing the viewer's interpretation with any particular character's emotion, perspective, or bias. Then the objective shots are used to present the action of the scenes events from an impartial standpoint, allowing the audience to form their own opinions or feelings about what is shown. So it's akin to a third person point of view where the narrator does not participate in the story. There, the objective shot is used. And what about the subjective shot? The subjective shot invite the viewer into a character's personal experience, and this is achieved by positioning the camera to mimic what a particular character sees, or to suggest how they feel about what they are seeing and how they feel by seeing that particular character. So a common example is the point view shot, or that is in short form this is called as POV shot, where the camera shows exactly what a character would see. If we take the example, the view over the shoulder of one of the tennis player can be seen with the subjective shot. So this technique can also involve moving the camera in a way that suggests the character's physical or emotional state. So subjective shots are deeply immersive, creating a more intimate connection between the audience and the characters. These are called as the subjective shot. Then we will discuss about the complementary shots. So what are the complementary shots? You can say the over the shoulder shot. So this type of shot where the camera is positioned behind one character, looking over their shoulder at another character. You might have seen this type of shots in the film. The camera is behind the subject, looking at the subject is the not the major part, but the thing which is placed in front of the subject, that is the major part. That is, the camera is focusing on that character, but on the shoulder of the other subject. So this setup is not only visually interesting but also serves to establish the relationship and spatial positioning between the characters. So it is a form of subjective shot. So complementary shot, that is over the shoulder shot, that is a form of subjective shot because it gives the viewer a perspective that aligns with one of the characters in the dialogue or interaction there, so it fosters a connection or empathy with that other character. So when using the over the shoulder shots in conversation, the directors will typically use the complementary over the shoulder shot of both participants to maintain the flow of conversation and the visual balance. So this is the OTS, or over the shoulder shot. Then another is the reaction shot. So these reaction shots, that actually what the reaction shots do, the reaction shots capture a character's facial expression or physical response of an event, dialogue, or action. They capture it in detail, that are called as the reaction shots. So the reaction shots are crucial in conveying emotion and can significantly enhance the storytelling by showing the impact of an action or word on another character. So they add depth to the scene and provide the audience with a deeper understanding of characters' feeling and motivation. The next type of shot is the cut away shots. So these shots move away from the main action or subject to focus on a different element, which can be related or unrelated to the main action. But it move away from main action to a different element which can be related or unrelated to the main action. So cutaway shots are useful for several reasons. Why? Because they include providing additional context at the same time what is happening with the subject, and, and along the same time what is happening in the context, in another context additional context is added through the cutaway shots, showing the reaction of others. If the subject is doing something or reacting in some way, then what are the reactions of others? And it also break up the visual monotony. If the shot it is focused only on the one, then it will create the visual monotony. So it cut away the shot to other context so that there will be no monotony among the viewers and help with the pace of the scene. So these are also they are also instrumental in maintaining continuity, especially when the actual events being filmed took place over a longer period than is shown in the final edited sequence. Then we will discuss about the different aspects of the picture composition. Just a minute. Okay. Then we will discuss about the picture composition. So in picture composition, we are going to discuss how to compose a picture. So it includes some rules. A rule of thirds is there. Then psychological closure we will discuss. Headroom, about impression of depth and camera movement, that we will discuss in the picture composition part. So what is the rule of thirds? So the picture you can see here, what is the rule of thirds? So the rule of thirds is a fundamental principle in the composition of visual images, including photography, film, and television. It's a guideline which aimed at helping the creators produce the balanced and visually appealing image. So the rule of thirds helps to produce balanced and visually appealing image by ensuring that important compositional elements are placed at strategic points within the frame. So you have to hear this rule says that how the frame will be made. So we are going to discuss how it works, how the rule of thirds work. So it's shown in the picture. Imagine that divide the frame into 9 equal segments as it is shown in the figure. It is divided, the surface is divided into 9 equal segments by drawing two equally spaced horizontal line. This is one horizontal line and this is another horizontal line, and they are equally spaced, and the vertical lines are also equally spaced. So similarly it divides the surface into 9 halves, equal segments. Then what happened? The grid creates 4 points of intersection. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 points of intersection are present. So according to the rules of thirds, Placing the subject or key elements of your composition at one or more of these intersecting points that create more tension, energy, and interest in the composition than simply centering the subject. So you have to try to keep your picture, focus your picture in those intersection points. These are the intersection points. So you have to frame like this. So this is called as the rule of thirds. Then where the rule of thirds are applied in the context of television and film, the rule of thirds is used to frame the subjects in a way that is aesthetically pleasing and it also feels natural to the viewer. So, what is found there? What is kept in view at that point while applying the rule of thirds? The first one is the characters. When framing a character, placing their eyes at one of the top intersection can make the shot more engaging as humans naturally tend to look at the eyes of others first. So this placement also allows for more of the environment to be visible, providing the context to the character's situation or emotion. So the eyes are going to be placed in this position, then the other background will be seen. So it will provide a context to the character's situation or emotion, you can say. So second area is the horizon. So in landscape shot or scene with visible horizon, aligning the horizon with one of the horizontal lines can enhance the composition. So depending on the focus of the scene, the horizon might be placed along the lower third or the upper third. So horizon need to be kept in view. Then next is your movement and direction. The rule of thirds can also guide the depiction of movement or direction. If you take the example, if a character is looking or moving to the right, placing them on the left side of the frame provides looking room or leading space in the direction of their gaze or movement. So this only make the composition more dynamic, but also it anticipate where the action is heading or creating the sense of anticipation and space. So these are the different applications of the rule of thirds. And another application is there, that is the visual impact. The rule of thirds creates a more dynamic space within the frame, allowing the viewer's eye to move around the image naturally. It avoids the static feel that can come from the centering the subject and often results in a more interesting, engaging visual experience. So these are the applications of the rule of thirds. Then next, we will go to the next point, that is your psychological closure. So in the picture also here you can see the psychological closure. That means you are going to touch the sun in between your fingers. So this is psychological closure, but it is not really happening. So that key is on the head of the key, the sun is there. But exactly this is not true. But it is psychological closure. This concept is called as psychological closure. So psychological closure is a concept that plays a crucial role in how the viewers perceive and interpret the visual information, including in photography, film, and television. It relies on the mind's ability to infer or complete a visual scene or object that is not entirely visible based on the information that is available. So, this principle can be manipulated to create a more engaging and visually appealing composition. But it also requires careful consideration to avoid unintended interpretation or distraction. Then, if we are going to understand the psychological closure, then we have to look into the different directions. The first one is the filling in the gaps. How we are able to filling the gaps. The human brain is adept at filling in missing parts of a picture or scene based on its familiarity with the subject matter. That is the nature of the human brain. So, if part of an object is obscured or outside the frame, the viewers can often still recognize the object by piecing together the visible cues with their prior knowledge or expectation. Actually, the what is called as psychological closure. So, psychological, the human brain is adept to filling the gap. So, on this principle, the psychological closure is best. Then, avoiding the ambiguity thought. As you have also seen that it is important for cinematographers and photographers to be mindful of how and where the frame cuts off parts of subjects, especially people, framing that inadvertently amputates limbs by cutting them off at the edge of the frame can create an unsettling or bizarre impression. So this happens because the viewer's brain might not fill in the missing parts in a way that reflects reality, and it leads to the visual disconnect, and the viewers see that there is a amputation. So these are called as the amputee shots. Then strategic placement. So the subject should be framed in a way that the either it includes them comfortably within the frame, allowing the viewer's imagination to focus on the intended narrative, or exclude them enough that the mind can convincingly infer their continuation beyond the frame. So this approach helps to maintain a coherent visual story and avoid drawing the viewer's attention to awkward or unintended focal points. Then we will proceed to the headroom concept. So in this, so you can discuss in 2 points, like you're balancing the composition, then adjusting for context. Headroom refers to the space between the top of the subject's head and the top edge of the frame. So just as with psychological closure, managing headroom is essential for creating a balanced and visually pleasing composition. So, too much headroom can make the subject appear to be sinking. So, too little also make the frame feel cramped or give the impression that the subject is being cut off. So that balancing the composition. So you have to balance the composition. Then adjusting for the context. On the basis of your context, you have to adjust it. The appropriate amount of headroom can vary depending on the context of the shot, the emotions or actions being conveyed, and the overall aesthetic goals of the scene. So, as a general rule, leaving a small amount of space above the subject's head without cutting off any part of them unnaturally tend to produce a comfortable, balanced look. In both psychological closure and management of headroom, the key is thoughtful composition that guides the viewer's perception and interpretation in a way that enhances the narrative and visual appeal of the scene. You can see this in the picture also. This is headroom. How much space is provided here? So this is balancing the composition and adjusting the context. The next part is your, in a picture composition, the next part is impression of depth. So creating an impression of depth is a fundamental technique in cinematography and photography that combats the inherently flat nature of the screen. So, by carefully arranging elements within the frame and making strategic adjustment to the camera's position and angle, a camera person can create a more immersive and three-dimensional feel to the scene. This depth enhances the viewer's engagement, making the scene feel more real and spatially complex. So, what are the ways to achieve this type of impression of depth? Depth. The foreground elements. We have to look into the foreground element, including objects in the foreground serves as an immediate point of reference for viewers, offering a sense of scale and spatial orientation. So, this layering technique, placing objects in the foreground, midground, and background, helps to create a sense of three-dimensional space. For example, you can take filming a scene through a doorway or having objects like a table corner or a person's shoulder in the foreground can significantly enhance the depth. What are the depth cues? So, utilizing the depth cues is another way to create the illusion of depth. So, this depth cue may include the linear perspective, texture gradient, light and shadow. So what are the linear perspective? The parallel lines that appear to converge in the distance can enhance the sense of depth. The next is your texture gradient. So the texture gradient shows a gradual change in texture or detail from the foreground to the background can help you to convey depth. As objects closer to the camera tend to have more detail. Then light and shadow cues. So strategic use of lighting to create shadows can also add volume to the object and the scene, enhancing the three-dimensional feel. Then we will proceed to the camera angle and position. Then slight adjustment to the camera angle can also contribute to a sense of depth. So we can take as an example that the shooting from a lower angle can make objects appear larger and more imposing, enhancing the perception of depth. Similarly, positioning the camera so that it captures scenes with depth cues like converging lines or layered elements can make the scene appear more three-dimensional. Then focus. The playing with focus, such as using a shallow depth of field where the subject is in sharp focus while the background is blurred, can also create a sense of depth. So, this technique separates the foreground from the background, making the subject stand out and giving the background a sense of distance. Then, how to move? Movement is also important here. The movement of the camera or subject within the frame can also enhance the depth. So, a tracking shot that moves through a space can give viewers a better sense of the layout and depth of that space. So, similarly, we can say having subjects move towards or away from the camera can emphasize the three-dimensional space they occupy. So, by combining all these techniques, the camera persons and directors can create scenes that feel rich, dynamic, and three-dimensional, and it draws the viewers into the world of screen more effectively. Then the next part is the camera movement. The camera movements are essential aspect of cinematography, adding dynamism to the scenes, directing viewers' attention, and enhancing the storytelling. The types of camera movement, the roles in achieving these objectives, we are going to discuss about this. So, what are those things? One is your static or still shot. So, what is that static or still shot? As its name implies, that the static shot involves no camera movement. The camera remains in a fixed position throughout the shot. So when it is used, the static shots are excellent for the scenes where the focus is on the dialogue or to create a specific mood. It can also emphasize the actions or emotions of subjects within the frame without distraction of camera movement. These are called the static or the still shots. Then another type of shot is there that is called as pan shot or panning shot. So what is a pan shot? A pan shot is a horizontal camera movement where the camera rotates left to right around its vertical axis. The base of the camera stays in one place, creating a sweeping motion across the scene. So accordingly, according to the direction of movement, you can say the pan right, pan left, like this. So the camera moves from left to right, then this is called as pan right. And this movement is typically achieved by pushing the panning handle to the left, causing the camera to rotate clockwise. That is called as pan right. Clockwise rotation means that is pan right. Pan left means opposite, the anti-clockwise rotation, and moving the camera from right to left. So what is the use? When it is used, this type of movement is used. Panning is used to follow moving subjects, reveal landscapes or large sets, and transition between points of interest within a scene. So it can effectively convey the scope of a location or follow action without cutting. Then next we will proceed to the important aspect, that is the transition between still and movement, static and movement. What is the transition? What are the transitions? So transitioning smoothly between shots is crucial for maintaining the flow of a narrative and ensuring that the viewers remain engaged. If you stop anywhere, then that if the transition is not proper, the viewers will not remain engaged. They can mark that here the shot is stopped. So in post production, the editors use a variety of transitional devices to achieve this seamless narrative flow. So first is your cut. Something are cut from the thing. So the most basic and common transition, a cut instantly change from one shot to another. So cuts are versatile and can be used to change scenes, move between storylines, or adjust pacing. So they are the staple of editing and providing a clean, direct transition without distracting the viewer. Then cutting, then dissolving or mixing. So dissolve slowly fades out one shot while fading in another with both images briefly overlapping. Then dissolve often indicate a passage of time, a change in location, or a connection between two scenes or themes. So they can create a smoother transition than a cut, suggesting more gentle or reflective shift. Then another concept is there, that is superimposition. So cut, mix and superimposition. Superimposition is the technique that involves placing one shot directly over the another, so both are seen simultaneously. The superimposition can be used to convey connections between different elements of the story, to show thoughts of memories of a character, or to create visual metaphors. Another is your fade. You can also use this fades, and it involves slowly transitioning to or from a black screen. So the fades are often used at the beginning or end of the scene to signal a more significant shift in time or setting. So a fade to black can indicate the end of a sequence, chapter, or film, while a fade in from black is commonly used to open a new screen or act. The next category is the wipe category. So in a wipe, one shot replaces another shot by moving across the screen either vertically, horizontally, or in more complex shapes. Wipes can add dynamism to transitions and often used in genres that embrace a more stylized visual approach like action movie or certain type of comedies. So they can also effectively denote a change in the location or time. Then chroma key. The chroma key involves replacing a particular color in a shot with another image or video, allowing for the combination of two separate shots in one. Then, though not a transition in a traditional sense, chroma key can be used creatively in transitions such as having a character walk from one scene into another seamlessly. So it's widely used for special effects, allowing for the integration of actors with computer generated imagery or other background. So the transitional devices each have their unique effect on the narrative and mood of a production. The choice of transition depends on the story being told, the pace of the scene, and the emotional impact of filmmaker that wishes to convey. By understanding and skillfully applying these tools, the editors can play a crucial role in shaping the viewer's experience. Then we will proceed to the cues and commands or symbols and signals. So, understanding the specialized language used in the television production, it is crucial for efficient communication among the crew. So, this language consisting of commands, abbreviations, symbols, and signals ensures that complex production activities are executed smoothly and precisely. So, first is your producer or director's command. How they command? What are the terms they use? They use the term like standby, action, cut, take, roll VT, or back to one, quiet on set, like this they use. But for what they use this? Standby means used to alert the crew that a segment is about to begin. So standby. Action means start the action or start the recording. Cut means this is not recorded or this to be cut. Then take means it indicates a change to different camera shots. So take. This roll VT means the commands the playback or pre-recorded video tape, that is roll VT. Then back to one means instruction for actors or camera operators to return to their starting position. Then quiet on set means request to silence. Similarly, the floor manager signal are like countdown, wrap it off, stretch it out, cut. So these are the floor manager signal. Countdown means the visual hand signal indicating the time remaining before action or going to live. Hand signal like your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start. Take. So these are the countdown. Then wrap it off a circular motion which with the hand or a specific sign indicating the segment needs to conclude. Then stretch it out means the horizontal movement with the hands indicating the need to extend the segment. Then cut means a throat cutting gesture signaling an immediate stop. Then the symbol abbreviation or markings on script, floor plans, etc. What are the symbols? So these are the symbols like your INT, EXT, Q, CU, close up, ECU mean extreme close up, MS mean medium shot, then voice over VO, OS means off screen, then FX means the effect, sound effect means SFX, visual effect means VFX, MOS means meet out sound, then Chiron means the text graphic displayed on the screen. So often it also specify the name of a speaker or location. So these are the symbols. The next important part that is called as the writing the script for audio and video program. How to write the script? So for educational program we are discussing here, for educational programs how to write a script for audio or a video program. So for educational program we will discuss what are the nature of educational program, what are the different types of educational program, what are the advantage and limitation of the media, then define our goal, then writing educational programs, and overview. So these things we are going to discuss here. So what are the nature of educational program? The educational programs are meticulously designed to achieve specific learning outcomes. So the outcome could range from acquiring new knowledge, developing skills, to fostering attitudes and values. The nature of educational content is structured and often follows a curriculum or a set of learning objectives. So these programs are intended not just to present information but to engage the viewer in a learning process that might include problem solving, critical thinking, and application of the concept being taught. So in an educational program, while we are going to set video or audio recording, script writing for an educational program, then we have to focus on the learning outcome or the course outcome of the program, and we have to accordingly add the problem solving, critical thinking, or application of the concept being taught. That we have to keep in mind. Then what is the purpose of the educational program? So the purpose of the educational program extends beyond merely providing information. This is never to provide information only. And so encouraging active engagement with the content. So what we are going to do, we have to encourage the active engagement with the content. Accordingly, we have to write the script so that the viewers will be actively engaged with the content. Then promoting understanding and retention of information. Then we have to plan for the promoting the understanding of the information. Then enabling the application of knowledge and skills in real world context, then inspiring curiosity and a love for learning, then assessing and providing feedback on learning progress. These are the purpose of our educational programs. Then what are the scope of educational program? The scope of educational program is broad and diverse, encompassing a wide range of subjects and learning levels, from preschool education to university level courses, or it may be vocational training course, or it may be lifelong learning. So every area it is coming under the educational program. So these programs can be tailored to cater to various learning styles and needs, incorporating multimedia elements, interactive sessions, and practical applications to enhance the learning experience. So these are the nature of educational program. What are our scopes? So accordingly, we have to set our purpose of the educational program. Then we will move towards the types of educational program. Which type of educational programs are there? The educational programs can be classified into different types based on their approach and purpose in the educational process. We have to keep in mind what will be our approach and what will be our purpose. So, first one is instructional television or direct teaching. So, this is the most structured form of educational programming which is designed to take on the role of teacher for specific lessons within the curriculum. And these programs are meticulously crafted to explain concepts, demonstrate procedures, or teach new skills directly to the learner. So examples, in example, we can say that teaching the core curriculum subject. So a TV program explaining fractions to elementary school student. It is a teaching core curriculum subject, offering specialized knowledge skills, language learning programs, numerical skill programs, the vocational training videos. These are the specialized skill program. So instructional television is Also widely used outside the traditional classroom in setting the training or the different type of training program in developing different specific skills or knowledge required for certain roles. These are conducted through this directive teaching or instructional television ITV program. The next type is your supplemental educational programs. So these programs are designed to complement and enhance the instruction provided by a traditional teacher, adding depth and context to the curriculum. They can provide alternative perspectives, historical background, or real world applications related to the subject matter. So, what are the examples? Suppose enhancing history lesson. So, you can make any history lesson, any documentary on history lesson for enriching the history class. Then, exploring social issues. So, you can take any social issue and make a documentary on it. So, supplemental programs are valuable tools for enriching the educational experience, sparking discussion, and encouraging critical thinking among the students. And next, another type is there, that is your edutainment, education plus entertainment. A blend of education and entertainment is called as edutainment, and these programs are designed to teach while engaging the audience through entertaining content. This type of programming is particularly effective for the young learners as it captures their attention and makes learning fun. For example, you can say, suppose for preschool education, one example is given here. Sesame Street combines the direct instruction with entertainment to teaching young children the number, letter, and social skills, etc. And different educational series with entertainment value has also been designed, which is being also used for the children to learn. So these are called, coming under the edutainment. Then we will discuss what are the advantages and limitations of the media. Some of the advantages are up-to-date content. The incorporate current events and recent development into curriculum through news segment, documentaries, and topical shows. Mm, these are the advantages. Okay. What happens by doing this? It keeps the curriculum relevant and enhances the students' engagement by connecting classroom learning with the world outside. Access to the diverse perspective and realistic portrayal. Then use documentary and interviews to introduce students to notable figures, cultures, and events they would not normally encounter. So benefit will be like broaden the students' horizon, fostering a more inclusive worldwide view and a deeper understanding of the global issues. So these are some of the advantages of the media. More advantages are also there. Integrated learning can be possible. Multidisciplinary lesson can be designed that mimic real life scenario where knowledge is not compartmentalized but interconnected. So it will promote the critical thinking and problem solving skills by showing students how various subjects intersect and apply to the real world situation. Then it also makes learning exciting by introducing the educational programming that balances informational and content with entertaining elements to capture and hold students' attention. Then it increases motivation and enthusiasm for learning, making education a more enjoyable experience. And then also it is helping in developing the creative and effective teaching tools, integration into broader learning context. So these are some of the advantages. Then what are the limitations? The lack of intercommunication. So, what is the challenge there in limitation? The traditional broadcasting does not allow for real time feedback or interaction between the presenter and the audience. So, this is a big challenge in the limitation section, you can say, making it difficult to gauge engagement or comprehension. So, this is a big challenge. Intercommunication is not possible. Then, potential what will be the potential solution for this? It is also given here. So then fixed content and heterogeneous audience. So what is the challenge? A one size fits all approach does not cater to the diverse need of the learner, of the audience. So it potentially leads to disengagement or misunderstanding. So potential solution is also given here in limitation. Whether limitation, though there are limitations, but there are also solutions to it. Then scheduling inflexibility. The challenge is finding a broadcast time that suits all viewers, especially for educational content aimed at schools. Is nearly impossible due to varying schedules and curriculum pace. Then radio's sensory limitations. Radio's reliance on auditory information alone can limit its effectiveness in teaching subjects that require visual aids or demonstration. Then embracing technology for enhanced education. So to overcome these challenges, embracing technology and the possibilities it offers for interactive, flexible, and multimodal educational content is crucial. So by leveraging the internet, mobile apps, and digital platforms, the educators and broadcasters can create more engaging, accessible, and personalized learning experiences that better meet the needs of diverse audiences. So, incorporating feedback loops and analytics can help continuously refine and adapt educational content to maximize its effectiveness and reach. The next point, what we are going to discuss, defining the goal. The meticulous approach to goal setting differentiates educational content from other forms of media such as the drama, comedies, where objectives are more straightforward, that means to entertain or amuse the viewers. So, educational content creators face the complex task of deciding not only what information or skills they wish to impart, but also what attitudes or values they hope to foster among their audience. So here are some examples of the Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood underscore the effectiveness of carefully planned and researched educational objectives. So it aimed to develop problem solving skills, foster appreciation of the physical and social environment, and encourage positive interactions among children. So similarly, the Mr. Rogers neighborhood was created with the objective of building self-esteem and helping children navigate their concerns and feelings about the world. So these objectives were backed by research indicating that such programming could positively influence the children's behavior and attitudes. When it comes to educational programming for adults, the emphasis often shifts towards deepening understanding or improving skills in specific fields. This is because the adults are assumed to have already formed their basic attitudes and values. The principle of defining clear objectives remains just as crucial. By articulating specific goals, educators can tailor their content to meet the needs of their audience more effectively, whether that involves conveying complex information, teaching new skills, or challenging existing perspectives. So, if we are going to set the clear, well defined goals, then it will be better for the educators, and the educators and content creators can ensure their material is not only informative but also engaging and impactful. So this approach requires a deep understanding of the target audience need and characteristic as well as the pedagogical strategies most likely to achieve the desired educational outcomes. Then, by after defining the goal, we have to write how to write the educational program. So maintaining engagement throughout the program is just as crucial as capturing it at the beginning. So some of the techniques to achieve this type of goal of engagement are storytelling, interactive elements, varied presentation style, real world applications, personalization, challenging assumptions. So these strategies can be followed. So if we are going to adapt the storytelling strategy, so what is that? Incorporating narrative elements into educational content makes information more relatable and memorable. Even complex scientific or historical facts can be woven into stories that highlight human interest aspect, conflict, and dramatic discoveries. The next second is your interactive elements can be incorporated. So for digital or live educational programming, incorporating interactive elements such as quizzes, audience poll, or problem solving activities can maintain viewer engagement. So these elements invite the audience to participate actively rather than passively consuming the content. The third one is the varied presentation style. So mixing interviews, animations, live demonstration, panel discussion can keep the content dynamic and cater to different learning styles. So this variety ensures that the program remains visually interesting and intellectually stimulating. Next, fourth one is the real world applications can be incorporated. So demonstrating how concept apply to real world situation can enhance relevance and interest. So showing practical implication or real life examples of abstract ideas helps viewers understand their importance and fosters engagement. Then personalization, highlighting the stories or perspectives that reflect the audience experiences or interest can create a personal connection to the content. So this might involve featuring diverse voices or framing topics in a way that resonates with specific demographic groups. Next, sixth one is the challenging assumptions can be incorporated. So, introducing content that challenges common misconceptions or presents presents counterintuitive facts can pique curiosity and provoke thought. So, this approach encourages viewers to engage more deeply with the material as they reassess their understanding. So by employing all these strategies, the educational program writers and producers can overcome the stereotype of educational content as dull instead of offering vibrant, engaging, and informative experiences that captivate their audience. The key lies in the creatively leveraging the unique possibilities of the medium, whether television, film, or digital platforms, to transform educational broadcasting into a compelling blend of entertainment and enlightenment. Then we have to know about the writing styles. So, in the context of writing, it is style is indeed a reflection of an individual's unique way of expressing thoughts. What is the way of expressing the thoughts, emotions, and informations through words? This is the writing style. So it encompasses the choice of words, how the sentence are structured, how the tone, rhythm, and the use of literary devices and techniques are used. So these are the styles. So just as every person has a unique fingerprint, every writer has a unique style that distinguishes their writing from others. Now, Ernst Hemingway is a primary example of a writer with a distinctive style, known for his economical and understated style, a technique he termed the iceberg theory. Hemingway believed in the power of omission. He often left out detail, believing that if an author writes truly enough about something, the reader will have a feeling of those omitted parts. So this approach allowed him to convey complex ideas and emotions in a concise manner, making his writing accessible yet profound. So his style demonstrates that simplicity does not equate to lack of depth. So his straightforward prose invites readers to delve beneath the surface to explore the submerged part of the iceberg. This quality of inviting interpretation is a hallmark of effective writing style. The notion of style extends beyond individual writers like Hemingway to encompass culture, periods, genres, and each culture has its narrative style. Each era is has its literacy movement, and each genre is convention. So, with these broader categories, individual writers find ways to express their unique voice. Then, what are the technical devices needed? The technical devices in writing are tools that writers can use to enhance their approach, making it more engaging, memorable, and effective. One is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the same consonant sound at the beginning of closely placed words. It's often used to create a musical effect, make passage more memorable, or emphasize certain words. How it can be effectively used? It can be effectively used to avoid overdoing it, which can make the text feel forced or so. It is used to highlight the key points, or it is used to highlight the key points, add rhythm and flair to the writing. Then repetition is another technical device. So repetition involves intentionally using the same word or phrase multiple times to make an idea clear or more impactful. So it can reinforce the concept, create a sense of structure, or evoke emotion. Then the next technical device is the balance. Balance in writing refers to structuring sentences or paragraphs so that the elements of equal importance are given equal treatment. So this can create a pleasing rhythm and aid in comparing and contrasting the ideas. So how it can be effectively used? The balanced sentences can make complex ideas easier to understand and can add a sense of order and elegance to your writing. So they work well in formal context or when trying to present opposing viewpoints or parallel concept. The next technical device is descriptive and figurative language. So this includes the use of metaphors, simile, personification, and other figurative language tools to create vivid imagery or to express ideas in more interesting and imaginative ways. And next, another device is applying this device. How to apply these devices? So we have to integrate all these devices, technical devices, into our writing so that it can transform it from simple communication of ideas to an artful and impactful expression. So the key is to use them thoughtfully and with intention, always considering the overall effect on the reader. So, experimenting with these devices can also help you develop a more distinctive and engaging writing style. So, practice and feedback are crucial in learning how to balance these elements effectively so that you can be a better writer of the script. The next part came the revision at post production stage. Before production, after completing all these tasks, there is the post production stage. Then, how to revise the post production stage. So, first of all, you have to understand the formats, audio and video program. So, when transitioning from writing for reading to writing for listening or viewing, so different adjustments need to be made. First is your audio format you have to adjust. What you have to adjust in the audio format? The scripting for clarity. Without visual aids, the audio scripts must be exceptionally clear and engaging. And this often means using simpler language and shorter sentences so that it can be clear to the audience. So that type of scripting is required. Then pacing and timing. The flow of information needs to be steady and easy to follow, considering the listeners cannot easily rewind or pause to catch the missed details. So that pacing and timing, how you are passing the information, what is your flow of information that need to be prioritized. Then what is the sound design? Understanding how the sound effects, music, and silence can be used to enhance the narrative or convey the information, that is also very crucial in audio formatting. Then how to do video formatting? The visual storytelling. The scripts must account for visual elements, directing not just what is heard but also what is seen. So this requires a good understanding of visual storytelling technique. Then dialogue versus action. So finding the right balance between the showing and telling in a video format is most important. So in the purely audio format, action in audio format there is no action can be seen, no action can be visualized, but in video format action can be action can speak louder than the words. Then the technical constants, some technical constants are there in the video format. The writers need to be mindful of the practicality of filming, including the complexity of scenes, use of special effect, and overall pacing of the visual narrative. So these are the post-production stage work, and some other works are also there. So that can also be done in the post-production phase, like your audience expectation, then conventions. So all these things can be done. The next part is your kinds of program formats. What are the program formats? One may be the story or the straight talk, that is called a story or story type talk. So these may be as follows, like your narrative focus. It primarily centers around a single narrator or presenter who guide the audience through the content. Content is going on and the narrator is going to guide the audience, making the information accessible and engaging. Some pictures are there, the picture is moving on, and the guide is there. That is narrative focus. Another is visual support. So in television, this format is often enhanced with visuals such as graphics, images, and videos to complement the narration, making the information more understandable and engaging. This is visual support. narration with visual support can be given. Then versatility. Then suitable, it is suitable for a wide range of content, including the illustrated talks, the special reports, newscast, educational material, showcasing its flexibility across different types of information and storytelling. So this is story type program format. Uh, Next is a pre-scripted content. So the content is fully scripted in advance, ensuring a well-structured and coherent delivery that remains focused on the topic at hand. Dual narration option to introduce variety and dynamic interaction. Sometimes two narrators or two voices are utilized, which can make the presentation more engaging and lively, and also it helps in differentiating between the different characters of the program. So dual narration option. The next is your educational utility. So this format is particularly effective for educational content as it allows for clear focused presentation that can be tailored to the learning objective and audience need. The next is your multimedia integration. So especially in television, the integration of various media alongside the narrative such as presenter graphics or visual aids, it enhances the understanding and retention of the presented material. Multimedia integration, it is the best format we can say. Then story format complete, then interview format is there. So interview format include interactive dialogue. The format is centered around a conversation where the interviewer seeks to extract the valuable insight or the answers to the question and information from the interviewee, making it engaging for the audience. The next part is audience representation. The interviewer acts on behalf of the viewers or listeners. The question which is expected that the viewer or the listeners will ask, the interviewer is going to ask those questions to the interviewee. Then on behalf of the viewers or listener asking question that the audience might have, thereby bridging the gap between the interviewee and the audience so that the audience can get the answer from the interviewee. The next is your flexibility and spontaneity. So many other formats, interviews are largely unscripted beyond the opening and concluding segment. This allows for a natural flow of conversation, potentially leading to spontaneous and revealing moment. Then expert insight. Interviews are particularly effective when featuring scholars, scientists, experts, or personalities, as they can offer authoritative insight, enhancing the program's credibility and educational value. So these are some of the types of interview format. And other formats are also there. So one may be the current affairs and educational content. So this format is well suited for current affairs and educational programs, providing a platform for discussion on topical issues or specialized knowledge. The next is preparation is a key. The success of an interview largely depends upon the interviewer's preparation, skill, and ability to ask clear questions, logical questions, relevant questions with confidence and tact. Then enhanced interest and credibility through engaging dialogue and the presentation of expert viewpoints. Interviews can significantly enhance the viewer interest and overall credibility of the content being presented. The next is your dynamic content. The extempore nature of most of the dialogue ensures that each interview is unique, offering fresh and dynamic content to the audience. So this is one for another format. The next format, one is your story format, then interview format, and another is your panel discussion format. what is that panel discussion format? The panel discussion format enriches content delivery by facilitating a multi-perspective examination of topics. So these are the types or formats. The diverse expertise. The diverse expertise are allowed to sit in a panel. The panel discussion assemble a group of experts, each bringing distinct opinions and expertise to the table, enriching the conversation with varied viewpoints. This type of panel discussion can occur. Another is moderated discussion. So that type of panel is guided by a chairman or moderator who plays a crucial role in directing the flow of conversation, ensuring that discussion remains focused and productive. So one moderator need to be present there, one chairman or the moderator who will moderate the discussion so that they will not go out of track. So this type of panel discussion also can happen. Next is an interactive and engaging panel discussion. So this type of format encourages dynamic interaction among the panelists and often with the audience, making it an engaging way to explore complex subjects. Then another is no script needed. Script is not there. While the discussion itself is unscripted, allowing for natural and spontaneous dialogue, thorough preparation by the moderator is essential to steer the conversation effectively. So this type of panel discussion may also happen. Then debate and controversy. So is the platform helps in learning? So there may be debate and controversy in the panel discussion. Panel discussion are particularly effective for tackling controversial topics or public interest issues, as they provide a platform for debate and exploration of differing perspectives. Then command and control type panel discussion. The success of a panel discussion heavily relies on the moderator's ability or the chairman's ability to remain well informed, alert, tactful, and ensuring a cordial and meaningful exchange of ideas. Then educational and insightful. So by covering various angles of a topic, panel discussion can offer deep insights and foster a better understanding among the audience. So these are the different forms of panel discussion, then story form, or it may be in the interview form. Then next, crafting the radio script. How to craft a radio script while preparing a radio script, how to craft it, how to design it. So when crafting a radio script, the structured format is very crucial. So how to do it? It can be broken down into two parts, like your two column layout. Another is your sorry, two column layout include the left hand column instruction and right hand column instruction. So the script is divided into two distinct columns. The separation allows for a clear distinction between the dialogue to be spoken and the technical instruction that guide the production element. So one is your left hand column instruction. Purpose, what is the purpose of left hand column instruction? And this column contain all the non-dialogue elements necessary for the production. It includes direction for sound effect, music cues, and any other audio element that are not spoken words. These are the left-hand column instruction. Then formatting instructions are written in all caps and single space. This visual distinction helps in production, helps the production staff to quickly identify technical cues amidst the dialogue. So technical cues are included in this. Then details included the character name, who will appear first, then what will be the dialogue, what will be the sound effect, what will be the music cues, and other technical performance direction, all will be included in the left hand column instruction. Then right hand column, in right hand column there will be dialogue. Then what is the purpose of right hand column? The column is dedicated exclusively to the script spoken words. It is where all the lines to be delivered by the actors are written. So in the left hand column, all these necessary things are there, like your any type of cues are there, and in the right hand column, dialogue is there. The dialogue is presented in upper and lower case, adhering to standard writing convention. So it is double spaced to enhance the readability and make room for potential annotations or adjustment during rehearsal or live production. Then clarity, it is the clear differentiation between dialogue and instruction prevents confusion during read through and recordings, ensuring that the actors and crew can efficiently navigate their perspective part. Then radio, after radio script, this is television documentary script. So how to make this type of documentary script? So this is one is your two half layout. The script page is divided into two sections like the radio script. The left side for video and the right side for audio. And this clear division allows script writers and production team to simultaneously plan what the viewers will see and what the viewers will hear. There is a clear distinction. Then video side is written in the left hand side. Then what will be the content? This includes all visual elements such as camera shots, scenes description, physical movement. So it is the storyboard in the text form guiding what will appear on the screen, that will be written on the left hand side. So formatting material, all the material on the left hand side is written in all caps like the video radio script, making it immediately distinguishable from the audio content. This emphasis helps the production crew visually navigate through the script and identify the video instruction quickly. Then this is left hand side is video side, then right hand side is the audio side. And audio side dialogue written up in upper and lower case and double spaced, making it easy to read, allowing space for notes or adjustment. This formatting helps differentiate spoken content and from the other audio cues. Then character names are written in the all caps to stand out, ensuring clarity on who is speaking, which is particularly helpful during table read and editing shoot. Then sound effect and music. These are also given their own lines written in all caps to specify non-dialogue audio element that enhance the narrative or mood. Then physical moment. These are the different parts of the television documentary script: video side, audio side, and then physical movement. So these are included on the video side to describe actions or movements within the scene. So the caves formatting keeps them distinct from the audio instructions. So then next come to the documentary. The documentary film, what has been prepared that you might have heard. So the essence that defines documentary and how effectively craft one can be distilled into several key points. So what is a documentary? What is the definition of a documentary here written? A documentary is a program or film that presents a factual record on real people, events, or subject, primarily aimed at exploring a subject rather than purely entertaining. The scope can range from historical or biographical subject to cultural topics. It may be anything, but it is based on real people, real event, or real subjects. Then media industry, beyond merely presenting a fact, a documentary in the media industry is expected to attempt to change people's attitude regarding significant social or political issues. So a documentary is both factual, fact is there, as well as it is also attempted to make it persuasive. Then what is the objective? Objective is to create awareness among the people. It aimed at making the audience aware of a social problem, like anything, any social problem might be there. So it is the aim is to make the people aware. Then action. It also encourages the remedial action to address the problem highlighted. And then inspiration. It seeks to uplift and inspire the audience so that they can focus on the value. Then emotional quality, what should be? Documentaries are imbued with a strong emotional quality, aiming not just to present facts but to emotionally engage those audiences, making the examples shown more impactful. So that type of examples are also included in the documentary. Emotional quality, to present the emotional quality, to present the fact, to emotionally engage the audience so that the awareness can be created or they can be persuaded. So what may be the types? So pure documentary, another is docudrama. So pure documentary presents the fact to raise consciousness or suggest action on social issues, like any social issues may be there, maybe water crisis, maybe the river, maybe the jungle, maybe forest, anything may be pure documentary. So docudrama means it mixes the factual material with the entertainment, blending real events with fictional events. Then what are the common requirements for making a documentary? Now, the research is needed. A thorough investigation and discovery of facts are very important. Research, you have to carry on the research so that you can make a documentary. Then what should be the structure? A logical and well organized structure is essential to guide the audience clearly and logically through the ideas and their relations. Then how to present it? Beyond structure, the presentation must capture the attention, clarify the points, and emotionally charge the ideas to prompt the changes. Then effectiveness, how we can make a effective documentary. The effectiveness of a documentary can be assessed through its organizational structure, its logical pattern, and its ability to engage or persuade the audience that a documentary can be made effective. The next part is our how to write a documentary. We have discussed the script writing part. So now, how to write a documentary? If we want to write a documentary before making the documentary video, then how to write the documentary? The documentary write actually involves a nuanced blend of various components to create an engaging, informative piece. Suppose you have a real subject or event or something with you and you want to make a documentary film, then you have to first write your documentary writing. Then in the documentary writing, what you have to do, you have to first use the narration. So narration acts as a guiding voice, providing context and continuity. So it is crucial for the narration to supplement the visual without overwhelming them, allowing the documentary subject to take the center stage. Then you have to decide voiceover, how you are going to voice over the documentary. So the unseen narrator offers commentary or explanation over the visual, and it helps to clarify what the audience sees. The voiceovers are also a tool for advancing the narrative smoothly. It is also the second need. Then third is interviews. Some interviews are also taken in a documentary. So it offers the first-hand perspective and insights, bringing authenticity and depth. Whether what you are writing in your documentary, whether it is authentic or not, or how much depth is there, that is demonstrated through the interviews taken from the real field worker. They connect the viewers directly to the experiences and emotions of the subjects, making the documentary's topic more relatable and impactful. The next is the graphics. The graphics include various visual aids like captions, diagrams, charts, maps, and photographs. So these elements help to illustrate complex information or provide the context, making the documentary more accessible and engaging. Then next, music. You have to select the music, set the tone and mood, so which influence the viewer's emotional response to the narrative. The music can also underscore the thematic elements of the documentary or highlight a particular moment of the dramatic effect. Music is also important. Then natural sound and sound effect. The enhance the immersive experience, grounding the documentary in reality. In reality, they will be immersed in the sound effect. So these sounds can intensify the emotional impact or help to vividly recreate environment and situations. So these are the some of the components of the documentary writing. So, a well crafted documentary script skillfully balances these components, ensuring the visual complexity, intellectual complexity, structural depth, then balance between narration and visual. Then we can say that this is a well crafted documentary script. So, visual complexity means the incorporating a variety of shots to maintain viewer interest and engagement, that you have to keep in mind while doing a documentary. Then intellectual complexity means the presenting multiple viewpoints to enrich the narrative and encourage viewer reflection. Then structural depth, weaving interviews and other elements into a cohesive dialogue that explore the documentary themes in depth. Then balance between narration and visual, achieving harmony between the guiding voice of the narration and the visual storytelling. So, along with all these things, if we will keep all these things in mind, then well crafted documentary script can be prepared skillfully. Okay, then script writing. Okay, script writing. Okay, are you asking anything? Someone is raising hands. Then script writing. The script writing process for television involves several key stages, often overlapping and iterative, focusing on collaboration, creativity, and detailed planning. So, what is if we look into the summary of the major steps involved in script writing, you can find the program idea. First, you have to get the program idea, what you are going to write in your script, then your program outline or program brief, then you have to make some research on the particular area, particular script you are going to write, then only you can write your script. So, program idea, discussion and evaluation of the initial idea, what you are getting, what ideas you have initially, you have to evaluate it against media selection criteria specific to video production. If it meets this criteria, the idea is finalized and accepted or accepted for potential production, then you will proceed to make a program outline or program brief. So expansion of the selected idea into detailed program brief, you have to do this. So this document outline the title, target audience, with the audience, duration of the program, then objective, then synopsis of the content, that you have to prepare a outline. Then it serves as a foundational document for the script. Then you have to make certain research. So comprehensive research on the topic and target audience is conducted to make your script some authenticated. So this includes the gathering visual material, consulting with experts or books or journals, or understanding the target audience background, preference, etc. You have to see and accordingly finalize your script. Okay. Okay. So up to this, we will discuss today. So in the next class, we will discuss about the skills and resources for video production, and another unit is also there that we will discuss in the next class. Okay. Okay. Somebody is asking something. Are you asking anything? Okay. No. Okay. Then we will end the discussion today, and we will discuss from the next part in the next class. Okay. Thank you.